Hey, everybody.
Hi. We're having a couple technical issues, not including the Facebook issue apparently that's happening.
Yeah, maybe. Don't know, not sure.
Oh, goodness.
Welcome to Monday night in our house.
Yeah.
I'm Chili.
I'm Nikki.
We're still Davis.
And we're just going to punt.
It's after her birthday.
It is. It is after my birthday. We are punting because apparently there's a Facebook outage. So if you are hearing this right now, I stuck YouTube links out to the live broadcast on YouTube.
Yep.
So you might want to jump over just in case.
Might wanna go over there, might wanna stay here.
It was a little finicky when I was trying to post those. So, and add to that an overhead camera that's not wanting to connect. So, yeah, I need a drink. So, where are we headed?
We're
virtually traveling
to Nebraska.
Nebraska's a good state for food.
Is it really?
It is.
Okay. It's got lots of beef.
Well, so see, that's all it. I mean,
It's important stuff for me.
Beef tonight.
Beef, I like corn.
Mm-hmm.
There's got a lot of cornfields in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. I learned about that yesterday from a new friend.
Their Corn Huskers is their team name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things.
Yep. So yeah, with the weekend passed and we survived the university homecoming and the birthday. I'm not a year older. I'm just a year wiser. I don't admit that. No. Nope. What are we drinking?
Well,
and why are we drinking it?
Well, Nebraska, of all things, is home to a staple.
The timer is getting ready to go off.
Alexa, cancel. So, Nebraska is home to this little wonderful thing. Kool-Aid. So, in honor of Nebraska and Kool-Aid, we're just going to mix up some Kool-Aid and cocktails.
We're going to let those go a couple more minutes.
You got your red Kool-Aid. I guess it's cherry.
Red is cherry in my house.
Cherry. And we have grape Kool-Aid. So we mixed up some red Kool-Aid for some cocktails. So
woohoo!
The best thing about Kool-Aid cocktails is you can kind of fill them with whatever you want to drink. So if you want to go vodka, you can go vodka. If you want tequila, you can go tequila. If you want rum, you can go white rum. You can go dark rum. So it's kind of whatever you guys want to drink with your Kool-Aid. Me personally, I'm going to use vodka because that's what I want. But would you get me some ice in the glasses?
I will.
Thank you.
Get you some ice. Yeah. I think I'm going to do vodka too because we need.
My stirring stick.
Oh, that I don't know. You had it last.
I do have it. Stir
to stir the Kool-Aid with.
To make the Kool-Aid.
This is probably the simplest.
This is going to be the simplest
cocktail we've. Would you like a cherry to put on it?
You can garnish it with a cherry. You got cherry Kool-Aid. You can garnish it with a lemon slice. You can garnish it with an orange slice.
Lime slice would be good with cherry.
Would be good with cherry. Yeah. Whatever you want.
There you go.
I'm just going to do cherry and vodka because
that's what we're used to.
That's that was the college drink of choice. And we're just not going to open up the bottle of Triple Medico right now.
Nah.
So, to make this cocktail, get you 2 ounces of your favorite Go Juice. Tito's vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Slide that bad boy off to the side. Get your Kool-Aid.
It is that simple.
That's all we're doing. So we mixed up Kool-Aid just like the instructions say. Instead of sugar, we use Splenda because
one of us doesn't like overly sweet stuff.
And I did add in some sweet and low just because I like overly sweet stuff.
So it's a nice
little mix. But it's not sugar. So. Yeah. And that's
the cocktail.
I bet you that you could make this at home real quick, real easy.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Cheers to us.
Oh, that's your phone.
I don't know who's one. That's mine. It tastes just like I remember it.
It tastes like college.
That's. Mm-mm-mm.
What if I wanted to make a Jello shot out of that concoction?
I'll use the water, or half the water, and substitute in alcohol.
Just curious.
Could be done.
Had a couple of those Saturday.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to use Kool-Aid. You'd want to probably use Jello.
It
Gelatin. And just sub out the alcohol for the water. Or a 50-50 mix.
Tastes like my 20s.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? Mm-mm.
He was so excited when he discovered that Kool-Aid was created in Nebraska. He immediately went to this drink. And I immediately went, oh, crap.
It's easy. It's,
Well, of course it's easy.
I haven't done an extremely easy cocktail
Right.
in a long time. There've been multiple things. And, the Hy-Vee over the rainbow just didn't look.
It's our test drive on that looked better than the one we ended up with on camera, but
the test drive looked really good.
That's okay. Sometimes on camera we get rushed and
kind of go our own little way, but that's okay. But this one, it looks just like tequila, or just like Kool-Aid.
You wouldn't even know it. Actually, you would know it when you tasted it, but
you can taste the vodka.
A little heavy-handed on the vodka.
Not really. It's 2 ounces. So
all right. I had to set another timer to. Clearly.
Yeah. What's that one for?
Well, I let these go a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay. So
I got a jump start on the meal tonight. Yeah.
Okay. So you want me to roll them over to there?
Yeah. I think those are good.
Oh,
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
You gotta put those there.
I think I'm going to put these here.
Okay.
I'm slightly out of room. Put this back here. Put this over here. This is what happens like around Thanksgiving, by the way. I have TV trays set up to maneuver the stuff. We are down a camera, so I'm going to do my best here for you.
Can't get the mobile cameras to work.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but that's okay. Okay. So tonight we are making, I really don't want to call it a hot pocket, but that's how I explained it to the kiddo. We are making a Runza, Runza. Runzas are meat pies, we'll call them that, from German, specifically Mennonite immigrants from not necessarily Germany as we think of Germany today. They were actually Russian German, Volga Germans. There's a long, very sordid history with regard to that part of the world that I will write about later in the week for you, for those of you that are really interested in that. I did get a jump start, however. So are you still trying to get things to work? Will you show them? Are they on the stove?
Yeah, they're here with us. No, they're on the stove.
Okay. So I got a jump start because the filling for these meat pies, for these Runzas, has to be room temperature. This is probably, it's okay. This is 2 pounds of hamburger, 2 onions sliced, 10 ounces of shredded cabbage, and I just bought a bag of shredded cabbage. I didn't buy the whole cabbage because for this amount that I'm making tonight, we don't need that much cabbage in it. Salt, white pepper, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of garlic because I like those flavors together. The garlic and the thyme are not necessarily what I would consider traditional, as it were, to this dish. You might know these if you are familiar at all with meat pies of various cultures because we all have one. You might know these as buraks. That is the, I guess, original name, if you want to call it that, from coming to the U.S. But we're not exactly sure where the word came from. We're not exactly sure where Runza came from other than the family that has the restaurants in Nebraska. That's what they called them, these meat pies in their household. But as far as where the actual word came from, we don't know that either. And we're not entirely sure if these are patterned after, Polish meat pies or Russian meat pies or other parts of that part of the world. So a lot of mystery behind this. They're delicious. That's all I care about tonight. So, all right. Are you still struggling over there? Yeah. I think you're going to have to give it up. I know, but it's not going to work. So I can tilt this and see if it at least, gets a little bit of space. That might have made it worse, but.
There you go.
Okay, so that's about as good as it's going to get here. I'll swap some things out so you can at least see what I'm working on. All right, so I pre-baked some just because this takes a little bit of time in the oven. And I have a lesson to teach you about bread dough. And you're not going to be able to see this because the camera's not working. Thank you. So I had, I did the store-bought. I didn't want to have to mess with dough because we didn't have time over the weekend, and I certainly didn't have time today to do it. So I thawed some store-bought, a bread loaf. Came 3 loaves in a freezer package. Thawed one of the loaves. Wasn't home today to monitor the thawing and rising of the loaf. Got home and realized there was a very thin crust on the top of it. That's kind of a no-go when you want to play with the dough. Okay, if you're going to bake it from that position, but if you're going to punch it down and roll it out and do all of the things that we're going to do tonight, not a great situation. So I hit the grocery store and came back with the little Pillsbury Doughboy bread. No, I bought bread dough because you really want. I mean, these are sandwiches. You want this to be made out of bread dough if at all possible. Biscuits would work. A little bit different texture for the filling. However, I'm not going to waste this. We're just going to kind of make it work. And I made 4 little ones earlier, but I'm going to make 3 that are a little bit larger. And I'm just cutting this dough in pieces. I'm going to put 2 of the pieces back over here. And gosh, I hope you guys can see this. And I have a little bitty, I don't use great big rolling pins for things like this. So the ones I made earlier are actually probably too little. These are supposed to be big sandwich size. Meat pies. And see, you guys can't see this, but there's like little crusties that are working their way into this dough, and that makes the dough a little bit less pliable. But we're just going to work with it. So you want a rectangle. And I've got some of the filling over here. You want to heap the filling into it. Maybe not that much of a heap of the filling into it. It's probably too much bread dough on the ends, but then we're going to pinch. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it. Pinch everything together so it doesn't all fall apart. And always put seam side down when you're baking things to kind of keep it together. And usually when you see these, this is still a little bit on the small side, but usually when you see these are either round, which is relatively easy to do, or the rectangular shape like this.
Lace those up like footballs for football season.
You could do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my dough from getting worse than it is. I'm using the not so great dough first, and then we'll use the better dough. And I actually watched the Runza restaurant chain is Nebraska born and bred, and you don't find them many outside of Nebraska. But I was doing a little bit of research on this a couple years ago for something else I was working on, and watched how they make them in the restaurant, and utterly fascinating. I wish I had great big dough machines like they have to stretch dough and all the things that I'm doing by hand tonight. So when you get that crust on the dough, by the way, it makes this pinching process harder because it doesn't want to seal. So I'm kind of forcing the issue a bit. Huh? Well, I mean, it'd be fine. It's just not as easy as it could be or should be. And the reason that crust forms is too much air got inside my little pocket that I had with the dough rising in it.
Oh, that's because I looked at it.
Is it your fault?
Might be.
Okay.
I looked at it at lunch.
At lunchtime? I did ask you to look at it at lunch.
You said, "Hey, is it thawed and rising?" And I said, "I don't know." No, I'm not looking at it. And he was like, "Oh, I better look at it." So I looked at it. I might be to blame.
That's okay. I did ask you to do it.
I did have to move it around.
That's okay.
I had to cook my lunch.
You did. So you want nice little rectangular shapes or circles if you want the round, but
What's the filling?
so the filling is you were messing with the camera when I was talking about it. It's ground beef, onion, cabbage. Sometimes you'll find sauerkraut. My family doesn't like sauerkraut. They don't really like cabbage, so I actually kind of doubled the onion and halved the cabbage.
Let's see. Could you double the meat and half the...
Could I have doubled the meat and discarded the cabbage? Is what you're really asking?
Might be what I'm really asking, yeah.
Yeah, of course I could have.
But you didn't.
I didn't. Would you get up there and get one of those blue platters out so I'm going to stick this batch in while I'm waiting on messing with the other batch. Because I want to use all my filling tonight, or at least most of my filling tonight. All right. I could fit more on this pan, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get these in, and then we'll fit more on the other pan. So I've melted a little bit of butter. Yeah, onto the platter. Whoop. I'm going to hope they don't hit the floor. No cheese. I mean, you could put cheese in this, but no cheese.
What the heck?
Chili wants cheese. You want cheese in them? Okay, well, we'll put cheese in the next batch.
Okay, put cheese and then like more hamburger.
So these are going to go in 18, did we lose? 18 to 20 minutes. It's recording regardless, so we'll be okay. 18 to 20 minutes for these. And then I'm just going to reuse that right there with a little bit more spray.
We're just going to be on the big camera. All right, that's it.
Oh, everything's all goofy. Oh, well, life goes on.
Because you have me moving stuff around and
Can I have my drink then?
Yep.
Thank you.
Manny Cam said, "You know what, you guys just
Are not with it tonight. Would you get the whatever kind of cheese out you want? Might not be any. There's some downstairs, but
I want this kind of cheese we have right here."
we're gonna make it easy, folks. Kind of cheese we have.
Yes,
That works. Just open her up. All right, so this is canned biscuit dough as opposed to out of the freezer section. This came out of the refrigerator section at 6 o'clock tonight. And we're going to...
stack of cheese came out of the refrigerator section at 6:52 today.
I almost don't have enough space in my little...
Well, I can't see it anyway.
I know. I'm going to cut this in half. We're going to get like 4 out of this. Then we're going to cut this in half. These are going to be a little bit bigger
That's perfectly fine.
because they can be.
Yeah.
Always use flour so things don't stick. Always flour your rolling pin. Buy these off Amazon, by the way, these little bitty guys. Because when you're working with small amounts of things, you don't need a great big rolling pin.
That makes sense to me.
These are actually for, what did I buy these for? I bought these to do something specific with, and now I don't remember what.
Kid,
No,
do those for your demos and farmers market?
no, I don't even remember.
You didn't really have to have a reason to buy it.
No, they're Italian, but I don't remember why. I was working on some kind of pasta project. I don't even know. Okay.
Was it when we did our trip to Italy?
Might have been. I don't know.
Trip to Italy?
Okay, we're gonna pile some. Might have been that trip.
And like,
Pile some cheese in there.
damn Skippy cheese.
We're gonna pile some meat in there.
Lighter on the veggies.
Do my best.
I know you are.
I had to stay.
Doing a great job.
I had to stay out of the filling a while ago. I love this stuff.
It smells delicious.
And you taste the onion. You don't really get the cabbage. You really don't.
I try not to get cabbage at all. That's what I'm trying.
All right, so we're going to. Did I spray? I did. All right, so we're going to fold these up like little pockets.
I want to use this area right here.
It probably would be beneficial, right? Might turn that light up now that we're crippled tonight and only using one camera. So is everybody still watching? Did Facebook like totally go dark?
We have 3 people watching us.
Well, that's good. It's Facebook. So tell us what you're eating for dinner. I like to hear that because it gives me ideas for later.
I know what we're drinking next week.
Ooh, next week's Halloween, isn't it?
No.
No, it's 2 weeks. Why do I keep thinking next week's Halloween?
You're like in a mad rush to get to Halloween.
Well, it is my favorite holiday.
All time.
All right, so here's 2.
Where'd the other ones go? Are they in
I stuck them in the oven already.
the timer?
Oh shit, no. They're probably been in 5 minutes.
On
18 to 20, so set it for another 10 and then we'll check them.
Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Woo.
Starting now.
Alexa's loud.
She's got some volume tonight.
I had to turn her up a while ago. Okay, you do that. You want the history lesson? Do you guys want the history lesson?
Of course they will.
Happy to give you the history lesson. I totally botched that.
Wow,
I turned her up because I was doing dishes and needed to talk to her. So, Catherine the Great.
Debbie says she gets it again. She might show up at her house. There's going to be plenty to eat here.
Oh,
5 people watching now. So
woohoo.
sorry, folks, we're down to 1 camera.
We are. In
So,
fact, I'm going to maneuver that way so they can see a little bit better.
oh, country fried steak and gravy.
Aw, who's having that? I want to come. Oh, okay. You might, I don't know. Yeah, turn that light back up. That might be a little bit easier. Sorry, I'm not going to look at the camera because I need to look down. However, I will tell you the history lesson. So the Volga Germans, point down. That'll work too. The Germans were recruited maybe by Catherine the Great in the 1700s, who was German. She was German. When she took over after her husband died. And she kind of put the word out. You want cheese? Never mind. That's a stupid question. For not just German, but Europeans to settle in parts of Russia. And in doing so, they would be allowed to keep their culture intact. So keep their churches, keep their language, keep all of that intact. And there were lots of concessions made to get them there, which I won't get into. And as a result, there were many who went, and the German population stayed in the southeast area along the Volga River, which is why we call them that.
Not because they were vulgar.
We're German.
You're all
Answer
vulgar.
that. Yeah.
Very vulgar.
But German Lutheran and Mennonite mostly, so maybe not so vulgar on that respect. But and they stayed for a while, but then some of those concessions went away after time went on, and when the Mennonites decided that they weren't going to fight in wars that they were being asked to, they up and left.
Oh,
And guess where they came?
America.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Well, for this story, yes, the ones that were in Nebraska. All right. So here's number 3.
Rolling this out.
Are you going to roll?
Yeah, I'll roll.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can do this
So
kind of
it's,
stuff.
a little lesser known part of history.
So do we get the Mennonite ones, or do we get the other ones? The
We got a little bit of both of all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. A little bit of cheese down. So yeah, just like anything else that travels with people when they
Food.
move,
Food travels.
this came with, in some form or fashion.
Man, that's all good.
By the way, the rest of this filling I have over here, I will turn into soup tomorrow. I'll stick it in some chicken stock.
This is not mine. I got those other 3.
You saw that cabbage go in, did you?
I saw a whole lot of
Would you
cabbage.
move that so they can see me? Thank you. So wrap, pinch.
I was paying attention on that one.
Trying to get him to eat more vegetables.
You gave me plenty of cabbage on those other 3.
I did. It's like playing with Play-Doh. Okay.
You got Play-Doh and you got Kool-Aid tonight.
That's right. It's like awesome. Okay, these are far from perfectly shaped, but all
To be a kid.
right, you can put that cheese up. I'll set that aside. I'm gonna brush these with some melted butter, and they will go in. And then we are gonna mix up a very not traditional sauce to go with them, because I like to dip my meat pies in something. And we live close to the Chili Davis.
What?
We live close to the horseradish capital of the world. Self-proclaimed, but I'll take it.
Well, it probably is.
I think it's pretty close if it's not. So we're going to make a hot horseradish mustard cream sauce.
Yes.
Okay. The butter, by the way, on top of here helps them come to a nice golden brown.
That's pretty much all it does.
Mm-hmm. It adds a little flavor.
Little flavor.
All right, I need to wash up, so
You want that? I'll talk to you more.
thank you.
So I'm going to try to put your little thingy over here out of the way.
Thank you. A lot of stuff in where?
Can I get a
You can get whatever you want out of there.
That's really good.
So you would need.
Specific flavorings and spices and
Mhm.
stuff that you put in there? Did you talk about those while I was?
I did while you were messing. So just to repeat, and then we'll do the sauce. Actually, if you want to set a second timer, I'll go ahead and throw these in. I'm gonna have lunch tomorrow. So second timer for 15. Those are more the right size.
Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Okay, so quick recap.
So we have 2 timers now. Go on.
2 pounds ground beef, and this made way more than I needed, but still. 2 pounds ground beef, 10 ounces shredded cabbage. Knock that back if you don't want as much cabbage. You can also use sauerkraut if you like that flavor. 2 onions sliced. They were little guys, not very big.
But you doubled up your onions.
Right. Onion, take or leave the onion. Either way, the most important pieces are the meat and the cabbage. Onion adds that little bit of extra flavor. Salt. I used white pepper because of the German. They don't use black pepper.
Still pepper.
What else did I do? Oh, thyme, garlic, and onion powder. So I kind of up the ante a little bit on the with spices.
That's good.
But tomorrow, what's left, and I probably have half of it left. We'll go in some chicken stock, and I'll turn it into basically the soup I usually make with sausage and sauerkraut. So that'd be delicious. And so bread dough, 2 of the Pillsbury or generic tubes of French bread is what you would need to do half of this. And I've got 6, 7. I'd get 9 probably out of those 2, 8 or 9, kind of depending. These are too small, I think. So, if you have leftover filling, eat it, put it in soup.
Yeah.
So dipping sauce.
Yes, dipping sauce. Right over here.
Here, I'm going to hand you things so I don't have to walk back and forth 32 times.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to hand you all the mustards. Or do you really just want spicy?
I just want that one.
Okay, then hand me that one back.
This is the only one I want.
Okay.
Spicy brown. My hands are right here.
I need to check one thing, though, before I walk that direction totally.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, salt. That's all I need. That's what I thought.
Looks good to me. I'm right here.
All things that you have in your
You guys drinking like your teenagers again?
did plenty of that over the weekend. Okay.
I'm telling you, man, I was happy that I saw that Nebraska was the Kool-Aid.
I know. So
It made my week.
1/3 of a cup of mayo. I'm
That is.
really only making enough to go with our meal tonight and lunch tomorrow. I spilled. Whoever used sour cream last did not layer it down. Roughly the same in the sour cream.
I'll give you a hint.
So I spilled. There you go.
One of the 2
And the other one was sour cream. Oh, let's leave it out. I'll find mustard, 2 big old tablespoons.
Uh-oh.
Alexa, cancel.
I know what that is. It's the one on top.
Yeah, we've still got a good 5 minutes.
Okay. Because they're thicker, they may have taken more.
Yeah. You can do that if you want.
Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
How horseradishy?
5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So 2 tablespoons horseradish, prepared horseradish.
I was hoping for more mustard, to be honest. That's okay.
Okay. I'm building this to taste here.
That's right.
We'll taste it, dude.
Okay.
And half a teaspoon, give or take, of salt for now.
Stir, stir, stir.
And we stir.
Oh, it looks so good.
And horseradish, mustard, I mean, it all goes really well with Yes, ma'am.
Enough. Looks good.
It needs a different mustard. That's why I had 2 mustards out. Just like different peppers play different on your
Other one.
tongue. That one's sweet. The other one's sweet.
Is that it? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like pepper hits different places, different peppers hit different places on your tongue, mustard does the same thing. I'm going to stir it up. It's good. And something else here. Thank you. I'm going to hit it with some pepper too. Oop, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that'll do it to it.
That's going to add some flavor. You just back off, lady. I'm stirring. Fold and mix.
You know what folding is. I'm proud of you.
I've watched. I've paid attention after these 2 years.
God, you could like cook dinner.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Oh, much better. You want some sweet in it? All right, there it is then.
That's perfect.
So mayonnaise, sour cream, 2 different kinds of mustard, horseradish, salt.
Could probably use a little bit more spicy, but that's okay.
Okay. Kind of to taste.
Mhm.
That one fell apart on the bottom. That one's perfect on the bottom. Yep. Ooh, I'm going that way. So you guys can at least see.
Mhm.
I hope can see. Can't see great. Sorry. Maybe too close. Here, I'll give you the heavy meat side.
Here.
I got it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm. Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely want bread dough for this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. And there you have it. It's like 10 after 7. No, I got a head start because I knew the oven part was going to take a while. And I didn't want to make you guys wait forever. These are considerably smaller.
And we had technical difficulties.
That too. Yeah. You win some, you lose some. Do you want one? Is that what you're telling me? Stinker. All right. So, yum.
Another 20 seconds on that one.
Oh, well, I'll stand here and eat while you watch me.
20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pull that other one out. See how it looks? Alexa, cancel timer.
Was that the top one?
Yeah, stop. Alexa, cancel.
Yeah, they're not done.
You sure?
No, but I'm going to show you how big they are, and then I'm going to stick them back in the oven real fast. No, they'll get dark. So, definite size difference there.
Oh, we got another 6 minutes left.
Um,
I think we're going to have to maybe more time.
oh, yeah, for sure. Those would take a good 20 minutes probably total. So, there you have it. That's why I pre-baked some. So you guys could see them. These guys are little. These are snack size. Those are meal size.
Yeah.
And serve them with a salad. Serve them by themselves.
There's salad inside.
With their, I've got cabbage, right?
That's salad.
They're kind of a meal.
Salad? More like potatoes.
If you get them at the restaurant, you get onion rings with them. Yeah.
Onion rings would be good,
Yep. So just like a sandwich. So there we have it. Food from Nebraska.
Potato chips.
One of my favorite foods from Nebraska, actually, or one of my favorite foods, period. With an interesting history.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting.
So,
You know where we're going next week?
Colorado.
Colorado.
I remembered.
You did. That's good. I told you like an hour and a half ago.
With one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah. It's got the state name in the title.
It does. And it,
It's a dog lover's drink.
oh yeah, because of the name. Well, no, because we had Tito's. I'm like, there's no Tito's in that, or no vodka in that.
There is.
Um,
Yeah, there is.
is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of something totally different then. So
It's a White Russian,
it
except with Coke.
with Coke on top. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. We'll just
It's a White
chalk it
Russian
up
with Coke
to
on top.
fatigue. It's not blonde anymore. There's a little blonde in there, but most of it's white.
Colorado Bulldog, folks. It's a White Russian with Coke.
You need another Kool-Aid.
I'm gonna have another Kool-Aid as soon as this is over with. As soon as we're done.
All right. We're going to let you go. So dinner in, with exception of having to thaw and let the bread dough rise, which takes forever from frozen. That's why I let it sit all day.
Yeah.
That part takes a long time. If you buy it out of the tube, you can go straight into the building of
As
the.
we did.
Yeah, that's what I had to run and do. Straight into making these right out. I would let your bread dough come to room temperature a little bit, but
You gotta cook your meat.
yeah, and that took about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 minutes. Your filling, however, needs to be cooled down,
you want
room
to do that
temperature.
early.
Yeah. And in fact, if you let it get cold and you ball it up, you put it in the fridge, like maybe the day before, you can just plunk the ball of meat down into your bread dough and roll it all up. So it's a little bit easier, but I didn't have that kind of time yesterday. Horseradish mustard cream sauce.
Kool-Aid cocktails.
And birthday cake that's left over. I'm good.
Yeah.
Works for me. How about you?
Me too.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope Facebook didn't, totally crap out on you.
Yeah.
Um,
Unlike our cameras.
yeah, we had a notification that said Facebook had an outage. So
We'll figure it out.
Not at all sure what's going on over here, but
Well,
we made it work.
I got an idea what happened there. We'll figure it all out next week.
Okay.
I think so.
Have a good week. Eat good
Enjoy
food,
yourselves.
drink good drinks, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. In Colorado.
Virtually.